welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. I am so excited that you've happened to watch this video, and if you like what you see then please feel free to subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. So in today's video I am very excited for this one. We are talking about money! Money, money, money. What everyone talks about all the time. I enjoy talking about money, so that's why I'm making this video. Disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor of any sort. Literally the farthest thing from it. So yeah, don't come for me if something I tell you is a bit wrong. I am just going to discuss things that I have learned and probably in the past year, a wee bit longer, about keeping money, saving money, and how to spend money well. They sound a wee bit counterintuitive, but it'll all make sense, so please stay with me and I hope you learn something new from this video. Hopefully there'll be lots of little gems of knowledge that you didn't know before. So let's get into it. So the first kind of area that I'm going to talk about is saving your money. I mean, it sounds so boring, but gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta save for so many things. One important thing I think that when you're saving is really good to have a goal, because when you're just saving and not spending money on some things for like a kind of arbitrary, random, not something that you can see in your mind, it's really hard. So in my head, I'm going to be living in a nice house, I'm going to possibly be going on like a big nice trip. So those are things that I have in mind right now, and it really helps me save and prioritise saving. When it comes to saving, one of the most important things that you can do is have a budget. So obviously to save money of any kind, your outgoings need to be less than your income, and that includes living within your means. For my whole life, my mum was always like, you need to live within your means, you're always living out with your means, and I was like, what does that even mean? But now I get it. Now I can say that she's right. So in order to gauge if you're doing that, it's really good to make a budget. As I said, I did this by making like a spreadsheet of my income every month versus my outgoings, and it's really interesting to see everything kind of split up and see what you're actually spending money on. So yeah, basically you're going through what you spend every month, or maybe your like mortgage, your car, your phone, all those sort of things, and then see like what you've got left at the end of every month that you can definitely afford to save. And then if you realise that you're spending too much in certain areas, then you can make a plan to cut back on those areas. Patricia Bright, she has a channel called The Break Platform, and she's got a really good video on budgeting, so I would recommend watching that. She goes through her whole spreadsheet and shows you her budgeting for her like 60k salary that she pays herself, and it's just really interesting to like see how different people spend their money. I find it really interesting. So one thing that I realised when I was watching these videos, that I was actually doing it without realising it, so this was quite good, but basically like splitting subscriptions or monthly costs with people around you. Most of these things like Amazon, Netflix, they have like multiple screens, so someone can pay it but then you can just reap the benefits of it. It's mutually beneficial for everyone. I pay for Spotify, and then me and my sister use that. My boyfriend pays for Netflix, and then like me and I think my family uses Netflix. Sky, I think my partner's dad pays for that. Disney Plus, my boyfriend's sister pays for that. Amazon, my dad pays for that, but we use it. I've just realised that my sister's the only one that's not paying for anything. What's she paying for? Yeah, it works out, because if you're paying everything, that would be probably like, I don't know, at least £50 a month. It's a really good idea, and yeah, it just works out better for everyone. So yeah, definitely suggest that to your friends and family if you're not already like accidentally doing it the way I was. Another thing surrounding like subscriptions and stuff like that, actually look at your bank account and see what kind of monthly things that you're paying for, because some of it might be like historical stuff that you're not even using anymore. There can be so many different things. Maybe you're paying for Audible and you've not listened to it in like months. Just see where you're easily spending money that you definitely don't need to spend in it. Another thing which is good for your bank account but also good for your soul, I did this kind of accidentally. Basically my email was so full and it was causing a lot of storage issues in my laptop, so I just went through and like deleted loads, and when I was deleting them I unsubscribed from the companies, and oh, it was amazing. When these companies email you, it's always like, oh, discount, sale, blah blah. So by not getting the emails, you just don't get the temptation. So I have found that very useful. Now if you're like creeping in because I've been buying like random stuff, I'm so much more aware of it. Honestly, try it, it'll change your life. This is like a generic thing which I feel like everyone says, but it's very true. To stop yourself like spending money during the week, do things like prepare your meals in advance. I am very lucky that my mum is like the queen of soup. So she just makes like 2 big batches of soup at the start of the week, and then that's my lunches. It's amazing. Love you, Jenny. Thanks so much. But make a big batch of chili or make a big curry or something like that and take it in for your lunch every day. Also things like, if you watched my vegan vlog video, you will have watched me spend £3.50 on like the smallest thing of fruit from Marks and Spencer's. I've like pledged to myself that I'm not going to buy like pre-packed fruit anymore from supermarkets because it's just mental. So instead, make a wee fruit salad at the start of the week and then just batch it up every single day, and it will last you like the 5 days. trust me. Another wee thing, take water with you. Like, do not be spending money on bottled water. See if you live in Scotland, you do not need to be buying bottled water, or tap water is like top tier. Example A. This is a wee Amazon one. I'll leave it linked down below. I've dropped it so many times and it's still going strong, so yeah, that shows you it's good. Oh my god, I actually need to pee. I use that one for water, but I've got another one, I think it's the same company, and I use that for coffee and stuff like that. And places often do discounts if you end up in that situation, you're like, okay, I just really want Starbucks. Then you can bring your cup, and do they give you a discount? I don't really know. I think they might. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This is a wee bit of a random one, and it's not like a massive saver, but it's definitely worth like checking out if you can benefit from it. You can claim tax back on random things that you might not even be aware of. So one of the ways is if you have been working from home this year, you can get like tax relief on that. If you've not claimed at all so far and you're doing it for like the whole year, then you could get worth checking out. There's also other things, like if you have a uniform, I wear a uniform in work, so you can get tax relief on like using your house to like wash and iron those clothes and stuff like that, and you like using your electricity. I'll include the link to the like gov.uk website for this as well, because there's like other ones I'm not going to mention, but this is just another one that was applicable for me. So if you pay like a professional fee or a subscription cost kind of thing to be able to like do your job basically, I don't pay one yet, so I'm obviously not claiming for it yet, but next year when I'm qualified I'll need to pay to this council that I'll be like accredited by, and I think it's like over £100, I can't remember, but you'll get some tax relief on that, so every little helps. That's just another wee thing that I thought was worth mentioning. Going back to what I was saying about kind of living within your means, if you've decided like, no, I like this way of living but it's not really working out for you in terms of like what you're bringing in, think of ways to make more money. That sounds like the most obvious thing in the world, but like there will be so many ways that you can do it. So last year I did a big clear out on my closet after I was going to say after lockdown, after the first lockdown, and I sold some of it, not all of it, and I made, between Depop and eBay, I made £350, and that's like profit. Obviously I have an Excel spreadsheet to prove it all and got all my numbers sorted out, but £350, so that was a really nice wee increase. Like you could use that towards a holiday, or you could use that like towards whatever you want. There's so many other wee things that like little side businesses people are doing. I found it really inspiring like last year, because people were obviously bored and they were doing stuff, but there was so many new businesses that were cropping up on Instagram, and like so many ways of people making extra cash. It's all very inspiring. So yeah, if you have a talent, if you're good at like design or just good at anything, like just go for it, make a wee side business and see what comes from it. One of my goals for this channel is actually to get monetized. That would be really great. That's one of the goals I had set out. If you would like to support me in that way, then you can do so by subscribing and engaging with the content that I put out, by like liking and commenting, things like that. That was just a wee plug, but if you would like to help me, then that would be amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to speak about is kind of saving, but is saving by means of banking your money. This is something I've kind of looked into quite a lot over the last couple of years and did like a wee bit of research in, so hopefully you'll find some useful information in this topic. For doing research, I like to use Martin Lewis, money saving expert. He's the best. He knows like everything. I mean, I hope he's legit and like isn't bribed by anyone. But yeah, he like lists things, so if you're looking for like a good credit card, if you're looking for a good savings account, his website is really well organised, and you can just easily kind of browse it and see what good options there are. So as I mentioned earlier, I am currently saving up for a house, so if you are too, then I think one of the most important things that you can do when it comes to banking is getting an ISA. So I have a Help to Buy ISA, but I'm aware that they've now stopped doing them. They've stopped allowing people to open a Help to Buy ISA, but alternative you can get is a lifetime ISA. So these are just amazing. I think they're government incentives. So basically you pay in and then the government gives you a 25% bonus of the money you've paid in. It's like free money. What is better than free money? Nothing. It's also worth noting, if you're buying a house with like a partner, a friend, a family member, like anyone, then you can combine your ISAs. So I've got a Help to Buy and my boyfriend's got a Help to Buy ISA, so we're going to put it together, and then hopefully that's a nice big pool of money that we can contribute towards the house. A bit of advice, like if you've not started one yet, I only started one about 16 months ago or something like that, and before that I was in uni and I was like, I can't afford it, no I can't afford it, I can't afford anything, blah blah blah. I would just say start, even if it's only £50 that you're contributing a month, then that's the government still giving you how much? If you're contributing £40, the government will still give you a tenner a month. Like, that's still good. It's still better than a lot of savings accounts that you could be putting your money into. So yeah, I regret not starting earlier. I definitely could have. I remember I was speaking to my friends and a few of them had them, and I was like, what? We didn't have this group conversation. No one told me. And I was like, oh, I can't afford it. Like, I've got my car, I've got my phone, all this kind of stuff. But £50 a month would not have been mental. So go for it if you can. Again, I can't recommend any because I've not looked in a while, but maybe check out money saving expert and he might be able to help you. Okay, so the next thing other than ISAs is a good savings account. So basically I have some bad news, which is that interest rates are rubbish right now. Interest rates have really like plummeted because of COVID and stuff like that, which is good if you're repaying money, but if you're saving money it's not very good. Also, because of the current climate, many banks aren't doing things like switch rewards, because that's like a really good way of getting a nice wee like bonus from a bank. So for example, in 2019 I switched and I got, I think it was £175 just for switching, and that is actually a really common thing, but I think just in the last year banks haven't been doing it, which is a bit rubbish. But hopefully when that comes back again you can get on that train and yeah, get that money. It was really easy. Basically they just do everything for you and then the money just gets put in your account, so that was ideal. As I said, interest rates are rubbish, but generally you're getting better interest rates for regular saver accounts. So a regular saver is basically like when you put the money in, obviously regularly every month, but then you like don't touch it. And then the other thing is like an easy access account or an instant access account, which is like when you put the money in but then you'll take it in and out kind of thing. So generally interest rates are better on the regular saver account than instant access. I would opt for a regular saver if you can, but if you can't then it's fine. Like this year the difference isn't that big between the interest rates, which is really annoying, but hopefully things will change and this video will be useful in the future. This year I didn't opt for a regular saver, I opted for an instant access one, and that's because, as I say, I'm saving up for a house. I don't know, maybe if I'll like need to take that money out this year. The best one that I could find, it was from Atom Bank and the interest was only 0.5, which is really not great, but it is still really good to kind of check what your current one is, because I had an old Clydesdale one that like I've saved in the past and it was 0.01%, so that's like literally minuscule, and even though 0.5% isn't amazing, it's still better than 0.01, so it's kind of good to check and see if you can get a better deal elsewhere. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is credit cards. Now I get like excited when I hear the word credit card, but I think some people get like stress, like palpitations. But if you don't have a credit card, get one. Get one. Do it. I know this might seem contrary to what I'm saying about saving, but get a credit card. If you want to like buy houses, get a car, like all that kind of stuff, you need to acquire credit, and you'll do that by getting a credit card. I was quite lucky because I got one when I was about 18. My mum kind of advised me to get one. I'm really like grateful for that now. And basically if you're getting one for the first time, I would really recommend getting an interest-free one and then put on like small amounts. So maybe something you pay every month, like your petrol, or maybe like a monthly train ticket or something like that. Pay that every month and then pay it back straight away, and then that'll just help you kind of accrue credit and get a better credit score, and then that'll really help you in the long run. If you have had a credit card for a wee while and you've got like a decent credit score, I would try get a credit card with benefits. So I've only kind of went into this world recently and it's very exciting. So I am now the owner of an American Express card. I'm Amex, baby. It sounds so much fancier than it is, like honestly. I think I used to have like a kind of label back in the day and it was quite like only certain places accepted it and stuff, but now literally like everywhere accepts it. I've only been denied like once and it was in like a coffee shop in a hospital, like in my work. So basically everywhere accepts it. So with like rewards credit cards, you'll get either like cashback or maybe like credit towards a certain store. So I had like a Tesco one in the past, so I would get like vouchers in for Tesco. My mum's previously had like John Lewis cards, so she would get sent like £50 John Lewis vouchers and stuff like that. So I had recently started the American Express card, so I opted for like the most basic one. It's called the Platinum Cashback Everyday Credit Card. So I went for that one basically because it's free, so you don't pay an annual charge, and just because I wasn't sure how much I'd be spending on it. So previously I just used my credit card for maybe things like online shopping, but now I'm basically putting all my expenses on my credit card and then I'm paying the whole thing off at the end of the month. And I'm basically doing that because I get cash back with this card. So because I'm like a new member, there's an introductory rate of 5% cash back for the first 3 months, or up to a maximum of £100. I've had it for about 2 months, and I've made like that £100 cash back, and then after that I'm going to 1%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're spending like everything is going onto your credit card, then you will get like a decent amount of money. And that £100 that I got in those first like 2 months, 3 months, like that's more than a lot of my savings accounts have accrued in the last like 2 years. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that all in all. Also, if you're interested in this, I'm going to put a link in my description, and it's like a link that you can click and you'll get money and I'll get money. It's a win-win situation, but basically you'll get £10 if you sign up with that link. Mutually beneficial, this is what I'm talking about. And then when you get one, you can send that on to your friends and you can get money. So yes, win-win. I know I was saying earlier that ideally you should go for a zero interest credit card, but now the one that I'm on does charge interest, but it's fine because I'm going to pay the entire balance at the end of every month. And the best way to do that is by like automating your payment. So whenever I get paid, there'll just be like a direct debit that goes straight to my credit card and pays the entire balance off. So that's a really good way of not getting stuck in a rut of not paying enough and then you're starting to pay interest and it's getting a bit overwhelming. Don't just pay the minimum payment. I've been stuck in that before. I had a credit card that was interest free for 12 months, which seemed really good. Then those 12 months like came and gone like that, and then I was stuck because I had this balance and it started charging me interest, and it was just really overwhelming because every time you paid it would be charging me like £20-30 a month, but I wasn't in a position to pay that much. So maybe I'd pay like £50, but it was charging me £30 interest, so I was only really paying £20, and it's just really hard to get out of that cycle once you're in it. So yeah, go for 0% interest when you're trying to like build up your credit score and just still getting familiar with credit, and then go for one with benefits and rewards when you've been using it for a wee while and you kind of know the drill. And you're not going to get stuck in this cycle of interest and paying interest because it's a nightmare. As I said before, this is something that's kind of related to banking in general, but automate payments, so set up like standing orders, direct debits. I don't even know the difference between those two. Clearly not a financial advisor. It makes things so much easier, and it also means that you won't miss a payment. I also have done that in the past. I've accidentally missed a payment just because I forgot and I didn't transfer it on payday or whatever, and then you'll get like a missed payment fee, and then that impacts your credit score. If that does happen to you though, and if it's only happened like once, then you can phone up, and then normally out of like a gesture of goodwill they will just like scrap it and like it won't affect your credit score. So don't panic if that does happen. Just like phone them up and just say, I'm sorry, it's for the first time ever, I don't know what I was doing, and then hopefully they'll be able to fix it for you. If you don't know your credit score or like it's ass then you can use websites like Experian or ClearScore, and you can check your credit score, and also like they'll make suggestions for ways in which you can improve it. It's just generally good to have a credit card. You've got a bit more security when you're like shopping online and stuff like that. I don't know, if you've go on like a dodgy website and they like steal your money, then you've got more security than you do spending money on your debit card. Also, if you are saving for a specific thing, track it, know kind of what you've saved and what you're still aiming to save. I have another spreadsheet on my computer. I sound like an absolute loser with all these spreadsheets, but I'm not even sorry, they're the most satisfying thing. Basically, I've got like every month what I'm going to put in different places, and then it's tracked. I've got it since like last year and this year, so I can kind of like see how much I've saved so far, and it's so exciting to look back on, especially if you're feeling like, I hate saving, blah blah blah. Then you look at how much you've saved and you're like, oh okay, it's not that bad. But yeah, it's just really like incentivizing, is that the word? I think so. Because you see what I'm projected to save in the next like 6 months or something, and it's just exciting and it gives you a purpose. So yeah, make a wee spreadsheet, even like a note on your phone, but spreadsheets are good because you can just automate them. Everything's about automation and making things easier for yourself. So yes, I highly recommend that. Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to speak about is actually about shopping, which might seem like an oxymoron because I've already been speaking about saving and not spending money and saving. But now I'm going to speak about how you can make money while you spend money, which is like the most exciting thing. One of the most important things I'm going to say is don't cut yourself off from spending. Like, that's just the worst thing you can do, because then it's like the forbidden fruit. It just makes you want it more. So don't just be like, I'm on a no spend, I'm not going to buy anything, I'm not going to treat myself, because then you're just going to like rebel and then go on a massive blowout and spend a ton of money. So yeah, just like if you want something, just buy it, but just don't go mental, you know? Don't go crazy. So I'm going to say, hopefully if you're watching this video, you might have seen my channel. I like to buy things, I like to try. So yeah, just like don't be hard on yourself, but also be sensible, you know? Okay, anyway, so discount codes. Discount codes are like my best friend. I will not buy anything online without searching for a discount code. Basically, I'm like a student because I had to do this course alongside my work. So I have student discount right now, which is amazing. I went without it for like 6 months and I was like, oh, so hard. But now I have it again, so I am so excited. If you're a student, uni days and student beans, they have different discounts, so it's worth checking both of them. And then I also work for the NHS, so a lot of places do NHS discount. If you work for the NHS, get the blue light card. As of last year, so many companies are doing amazing discounts for NHS staff, so definitely get on that. You probably do have friends which will have like random codes. My friends and family text me all the time like, oh, do you have a code for this, do you have a code for that? You can message me on Instagram if you think that you're gonna buy something and you're like, I wonder if Rachel's got a code. Message me on Instagram. It's Rachel Jackson. It's okay, I've got you. I'm never like, oh my god, that's embarrassing. I'm like, that's embarrassing not to be saving that money. Get on. There's websites like Honey. I've actually got that installed on my like browser, so it basically searches online for all the discount codes. It's not like always almost up to date, so you might end up finding like a random one online which actually saves you money, which isn't on Honey. Ah! I'm so sorry. But it's definitely worth having a wee look. This is something that I've only discovered recently. So sometimes places don't do discount codes and you're like, you're right. but there are websites that are like cashback websites, which I had never looked into before. And then just before Christmas, I was like, I'll have a look at this. And so I've been using Quidco and Top Cashback. So basically, I've got the app, so you'll like go through the app, click on the retailer you want, and then it'll open a page in your browser, and you need to put the transaction through on that page, and it basically like tracks your cookies, and then portion of what you spent, you'll get that cashback back. So yeah, it was really good. It's worth noting that this isn't like an instant cashback. I think because of like refunds and stuff like that, basically it takes about probably 6 months on average to get it. So I'm like now, actually not 6 months, because I've received some of the cashback that I spent in like December. So not 6 months, but it's not like an instant discount like a discount code is, if you know what I mean. Over Christmas, with like different websites that I shopped on, I received £28 in cashback, which doesn't seem like that much, but bear in mind that the rest of the stuff I probably use a discount code for. So like it's good on top of that. Like that's a decent saving to make on top of the money that I've already saved. I'm going to leave a link in my description as well for those. It's another one of those wee links that like you got money and I'll get money. So if you sign up, you get £5, which is a good way to start out. Other things which you're probably aware of, but you might not have ever signed up for, are things like loyalty cards for different stores. So supermarkets are quite good for this. Most of the supermarkets have a kind of card or something like that. I mostly shop in Morrison's, so they have the Morrison's More card. Oh, also Morrison's have an NHS discount and a teacher discount. So if you're either of those people, either of those things, then yeah, sign up. You can use the app. It's really, really easy. You get 10% off and sometimes 15% off. But yeah, Morrison's have the More card, so you collect points. Sainsbury's have their Nexer card. Tesco have their Club card. My boyfriend pure raves about it because I think as well as points, you also get like discounted prices. So it will say like, I don't know, pack of Doritos £2, but for Tesco Club card holders it's like £1. So you're getting like instant savings plus points, which is quite good. I think like everyone and their, well, literally everyone's mum, but everyone and their mum knows about a Boots card. But I've only recently realised how much money you can save from a Boots card. But basically there was a deal on, it was you spend £60 then you get £10 worth of points. So I did that, and yeah, I got £20 worth of points for £120 purchase. Obviously it's not cash, but I don't know, I can treat myself to some makeup or like skincare or something like that. The one annoying thing about the Boots one is that you can't use it for like a partial purchase. So if you have like a £5, then you can't just take a £5 off the price of the item. You need to find something that's a £5 and buy it. Do you know what I mean? That's really annoying, because the Superdrug one, you can just like take off the total, if that makes sense. The Superdrug one's is good as well. And also, I'm sounding like chaotic right now, but Superdrug also do NHS discount. Oh. So as I was saying, like if you've watched my channel, you do know that I enjoy spending money. Like I like buying new things, it's exciting, it's fun, but I do try limit impulse buying by giving myself like a 24-hour rule. 24 hours, I should probably make it even longer to be honest, but you know, oh well. So basically, if I see something and I'm like, oh my god, I need it, I want it, I need to buy it. If I go back the next day or the next 24 hours and I still want it, then okay, fine. But if I'm like, oh, it's not even that exciting anymore, I do not think 24 hours is enough for this. I should definitely make it like 7 days, but yeah, whatever. So if I'm not as bothered about it, then I'll leave it. But if I still am, then I'll let myself get it. And it's just like kind of like a wee way to check yourself, a wee way to like see that you're not going overboard with your spending. So I think that's quite useful for me. This is related to online shopping, but don't let yourself fall for like scarcity marketing. If you know what I mean by that, by things being like, oh my god, this day only, 20% off, or limited edition. This happens a lot in makeup. They'll be like, limited edition, no restock. And then like a week later, they're like, oh, restock's coming next week. It's like, I thought you weren't restocking it. It's so shady. I'm like, how can people be allowed to do this? I almost got caught out by this the other day because I was looking at Nasty Gal and it was over the Easter weekend. They had 55% off and I was like, holy moly, like that's so much. And then I text my friends like, do they normally have discounts like this? And they were like, yeah, all the time. I'm like, seriously? I was so close to like panicking and buying my whole bag and spending all that money because I thought that I would never get that discount again. So yeah, just kind of be aware that companies are like shady and they just really want your money. So gotta be smart. Gotta be smart. Okay, I actually think that's everything that I wanted to cover. I feel like I like rattled through that really, really fast. I'm getting my dinner soon, so I'm like, I hope I didn't speak at 100 million miles per hour. I hope that you enjoyed this video and you like this topic. I do find it really interesting. I like finance videos and money and all that kind of stuff. So if you do too, then give this a big thumbs up. And I've never said that before, but give it a thumbs up and comment down below and we can like chat about it in the comments. That would be really interesting. I'd be keen to make more of this type of content if it does interest you. I find the concept of passive income so interesting. Like I always watch videos about that and I'm like pure reeled in by it. I would definitely be up for doing like testing passive income ideas. Like that would be fun. So that's a potential. Like let me know if that's something that you would find interesting. But yeah, I think that is everything for today. If you learned anything new or if you have any tips that I've probably not mentioned that are like glaringly obvious, then please let me know because I might just totally not even realise. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and please, if you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would subscribe. It would mean so much to me. While you're here, I would love it if you would check out any of my other videos if you haven't seen them already, and in the meantime I will see you in the next one. Bye! That was close. Almost knocked over my coffee. Right, are we good? Why can't I never say hello normally? Hello, welcome. I only have half an hour to film this. Money! Money. So obviously, to have savings of any kind, your outgoings should be less than your income. Ingoings should be less than your ingoings, so your outcome. Oh my god, help me. You will have seen me. Saw me? Can you hear me? Okay, so the last thing that I'm going to speak about is actually about shopping.